back to another video. Today we are doing like a whole board setup, but we're going to be focusing on like just the one aspect of it. As you guys know, I bought the Indy titaniums. I've been skating them for a while now. Man, every time I pick these up, they're so crazy light. So I've been skating them for a while now, and yeah, I really like them. And I was at the skate park and I was talking to a friend about how I have the titaniums, and he actually told me that he bought titanium bolts for like titanium hardware for his trucks. And I was like, they make those? And he's like, yeah. So sure enough, I looked up online and I found them. Now this is a completely unnecessary skateboard upgrade. I think I did the math on this. I only saw one other video about someone skateboarding making a video about this, but so I did the math, and I think I'm saving 23 grams of weight by using this. They do make a kingpin, a titanium inverted kingpin that I could have bought and put in this in my trucks or whatever, but aftermarket inverted kingpins always kind of loosen over time, and I just didn't want to deal with all that. So we're just gonna go with the hardware. Now, at the time I'm making this video too, of course, right after I bought it, it all went on sale. So I paid like $55 for all of this. Again, this is completely unnecessary. It's one of those things where, I mean, I paid good money for this, but this video will hopefully help reimburse me a little bit. And I'm gonna see how long it lasts. Like I intend on putting this on my trucks and skating these trucks for, you know, a year or more and seeing does the titanium hold up? And so another question people are going to ask in the comments, and I know, is isn't titanium weaker than steel, or is it stronger? So this is what I pulled up on the internet. So the weight to strength ratio is titanium generally has a higher strength to weight ratio than steel. This means for the same weight, titanium is significantly stronger, and this is why it's highly valued in aerospace and other applications where weight is a critical factor. So Acer is the company that makes these, and they actually manufacture like titanium car parts, all that stuff using super high grade titanium. So that's what this stuff is, which is why it's so expensive. Do I break hardware all the time? No. Do I break any of this stuff all the time? No. It's unnecessary. It's just a weight, in the regards to skateboarding, this is a weight saving endeavor. Steel is generally harder than titanium. This is why it's often preferred for things like knife blades that need to hold a sharp edge. And stiffness, steel is stiffer. Titanium has a lower elasticity, meaning it flexes more under stress. So this is just an experiment. So as far as the skateboarding world goes, I don't know if this is generally necessary. I can understand it in like very high-end car parts and things like that, where like, you know, if you're talking about a large part, you're gonna save a lot of weight if it's titanium. But this little itty-bitty bag, I mean, it is very light, but well, yeah, I don't think it's ultimately gonna save that much. The one thing I will say is you can see how well machined these are, if that makes any sense. Like the hardware is so cool looking, and I'll get some close-ups of it, but yeah, like the bolt head of the hardware is very small, and I think that's going to be very cool looking. Also, they didn't do that black finish that all hardware does, and I think that's cool because it's super annoying after like one board and your hardware starts fading, and like, I don't know, it's just, it looks bad. So just make it silver, who cares? Obviously, pepper grip tape, I've already cut it because I'm doing my stripe again. And this is a 9-inch swim skateboard. So it's a football egg shape, whatever you want to call it. 9 inches here, and then I know it's got a 14.38 wheelbase. I measured it and stuff like that earlier, but the specs are online. I did find the specs, so I'll put them on the screen here. And yeah, I'm very excited to skate this thing. This just looks like fun all day. So it's a shorter wheelbase than the toy machine, which was giving me trouble, obviously. And So I really liked the 14 1/4 shop board I was on, and then I went to 14 1/2 on the wheelbase, and I didn't really like it too much. So this is the happy medium 14 3/8 and a nice big wide egg board, which will fit my trucks great and everything like that. So that's pretty much the only new stuff. But yeah, we're gonna get this set up. One more thing I want to say too is that this company Acer actually makes bearings as well, like ceramic, crazy cool bearings. But they were $90, and I was like, I don't know, I don't need bearings. I'm not gonna buy that. But as I'm making this video and these are on sale and all that stuff, they were only $31. They were a huge markdown on them. So of course I ordered them. So that'll be a later video, but we're gonna try it. They're shieldless and lubeless. So they're basically a Bronson Raw, but manufactured by an aerospace company that does high-end car parts. And yeah, so probably going to be better. Who knows? But we're going to test it out. But let's get the board set up first. All right, we got it all taped down and lined up and measured perfectly. I get a lot of questions on what screws I use to do this, and these are coarse thread drywall screws, 2-inch. So that's what I use. Big, huge box, and they just last you forever. And yeah, they've never had a rail pop out. Ever since I started doing this, never had one rail pop out, ever. Not even like one bolt, none of it. All right, so I'm gonna do the surf stripe again. I don't know why, I've been really loving doing this, but yeah, it's just fun. But I say it's fun, but it's also like a pain, because if you get it just a little off, it's like, ugh. But this board should be easy because it's so wide that like I pretty much just can use this edge to give me the stripe down the middle. So also, sheets of grip are 9 inches, so I measure 4.5, 4.5, cut down the middle, and then I go like this and use the factory edge as the middle stripe, because then even if I cut a little off, this will be square. So that's, if you want a nice straight line, that's what you do. Also, we're just using regular pepper G5 exclusive formula or whatever. It's not the Galaxy, but the skate shop didn't carry Galaxy, but just fine. I don't, it's not required. It's kind of like once you put it down, it's like, oh, let's hope that's in the middle. It looks pretty good though, honestly. That last towing machine board, I did it a little crooked, and it only bothered me for like a day. Hold. Did we get it? Well, that's what it is. Apologize in advance, I'm sweating so bad. It's currently like 84 degrees in my apartment. I'm being stubborn. I didn't feel like putting my AC unit in this year. I don't know why. Just didn't feel like it. But yesterday I think it got up to 93 degrees in my apartment. It's crazy. Like sleeping last night was whew. But yeah. All right. I'm really excited to see how the hardware looks on the top. Like that's like, I think to me, like that's gonna be the thing I notice the most, is just because that's like, again, it's on the top of the skateboard and you're staring at it. I'm so used to like the regular hardware. These smaller bolt heads are gonna look different to me, but I think they look really, really sick actually. And oh, if anyone's wondering about the Alvear situation, I don't know if you've seen Seva's video, but yeah, like they were out of stock on the website for a while and all that. So I just kind of was experimenting with the pepper. And yeah, but I think the next time I grab some grip, I'll just, you know, I usually buy like 3 or 4 sheets at a time when I buy there. All right. So I got this, I ended up going with 7/8 Phillips. They do make Allen, they make different lengths. So if you have a preference, you can obviously go with your preference. Lately I've been into the Phillips. I don't know why. It's kind of like, just like classic. All right, which is my front truck? That's the back. It's the front. Do you guys write front and back on your trucks when you get them? I used to not, but it just makes life easier. You don't have to sit there and stare at your grooves for 5 minutes being like, which one is my crook groove? But that looks like my Smith groove. So one thing I noticed right away is that like the nuts for the hardware, they seem bigger than the regular nuts, but obviously they're still lighter. I don't know. I think this is such an unnecessary upgrade, you guys. Like I'm literally, I bought these just to make a YouTube video, like, and it's cool now because I'm gonna keep using them. Obviously, it's super nice. This puts my skateboard clearly, like, this is the most expensive skateboard I've ever had. Between the Indy titaniums and the titanium hardware. If I didn't get those, the bearings that are coming in, like if I paid $90 for those, Jesus. It's one expensive skateboard, but I don't know, you know? I guess this is the one thing I spend money on. I don't really spend much money anywhere else. I don't go to bars. I don't do any of that stuff. The occasional concert, but yeah, nothing crazy. All right, back truck on. I'm interested to see too if the kingpin bolt is the same height as the Indies, because I'm a little concerned that if it's like a thinner bolt to save weight, it might expose more threads, you know, so that might cause an issue with the truck tightness, because I like to have my bolt on my trucks like pretty much level, maybe one thread showing at the most. So far, I mean, they look, oh, nope, that's like $10. Okay, let's tighten these up. I am not going to use the drill because I don't want to strip these or anything. I don't know. I'm just being cautious. They're expensive. So I'm just going to use a screwdriver, tighten from the back side so they don't spin. So far, what I can definitely say is they look sick. Like the hardware looks really cool. If not for weight savings, I'd buy this hardware just because it looks like super slick. I wanted to set this board up yesterday, but I would have probably died. It was so hot. I would have just been like sweating all over my board and stuff. We're not going to be skating this in this video, obviously. This is just a setup video, and I wanted to talk about the titanium bolts. But yeah, we will skate it in the next video. I apologize too if the birds are super loud. I wore my mic today because I thought the birds were going to be going nuts, and yeah, they are. Oh yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, I would definitely say these look cool enough to buy. If they're still on sale, definitely go buy them. They're so sick looking. Just the hardware. The bolts on my trucks, I don't even think you're going to, you know, no one will see those. They're just going to look like normal bolts for trucks. People will notice these, I think. These stand out. These are cool. They're like small. Big board, small bolts. I'm really excited to skate this board. As you guys know, I used to love that Current Caples egg board, but that was like kind of on the extreme where I had they had a 14-inch wheelbase with Aces, so I was like skating such a tiny wheelbase. Looking back on it now, I mean, it's fun, but there's a happy medium, you know? This little top-down view. You can see how like small the bolts are. Looks cool. Looks really cool. I'm gonna swap out these kingpin bolts. So far, the washers for the flat washers on top seem to be working, but let's see here. Nope. The titaniums actually seem to be a little bit taller, which is good, because that's not gonna mess up my my flat washer setup I got going on here. All right, I gotta make sure to put these bolts off to the side so I don't mix them up. All right, well, here it is all set up. Honestly, can't feel the difference. That being said, though, this is a whole half-inch bigger than my last board, right? So I was on an 8.5. This is a 9. So it feels about the same as my 8.5, which is, that says something, right? I will say aesthetically, the hardware is my favorite bit. The top hardware, like, I'm big on that kind of stuff. Like, I would spend the extra money to get those just because they look so sick. Again, I would wait until, you know, I'm going to skate them for a while before I can give a conclusion on whether or not they're durable, if they hold up through multiple boards, all that stuff. And as far as the hardware for the trucks go, I mean, if you're really trying to save weight, it's fine. You know, like, they seem very good quality. The lock, the what is it called? The little rubber ring, very secure. Like, these things aren't going to come loose. They're so on there. I'm interested to see, like, when I grind, how, like, Smiths and Feebles and stuff will feel like on the titanium bolt. If it hangs up more than steel, all that will be, time will tell, right? But so hyped to skate this board. Like, very, very sick. Yeah, came out really cool. The graphics, stickers, everything, pretty sick. I love the blue top ply. I nailed that stripe. It was frustrating. I was having a little bit of a crash out there trying to get this grip tape on because my last board was a little crooked, but it was worth it because it came out perfect. Like, it's dead center. Like, so hyped. But yeah, that's going to do it. This is the titanium skateboard setup. The lightest 9-inch skateboard you've ever seen. Look at how light this thing is, guys. It's like air. I'm kidding. It's not that much lighter. I mean, it is, though. Like, I'm sure if I set up this board with all standard parts, you would definitely feel the difference. Like, it would... I'm just saying, like, it feels like an 8.5 to me. Feels like my last board. So it doesn't even feel like I went up a half-inch in size. And, I'm excited to flip this thing around. I think this is going to be like the funnest kickflip board, hopefully, but we'll see. If not, it's definitely going to be a good slabby board. All right, that's going to do it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys watching, checking out the videos, and see you guys in the next one.
Don't know nothing about me, dude.